All right, so the city of Atlanta went 2-0 against New Orleans in sports this week. I say that because of what has transpired over the last 24 hours between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Pelicans and the Atlanta Hawks. So both teams came into the city and got victories. They went 2-0. I watched the Pelicans versus Hawks game on Saturday night, and they won. They came from behind to beat the Pelicans, pick up another victory. Things are just not getting better with the current interim head coach James Borrego. And now today, fast forward to today, the Atlanta Falcons had lost 5 straight games, lost their quarterback for the season. They didn't have Drake London in this game, but they had Kirk Cousins, a quarterback that has been known to carve up the Saints in recent years when he's with the Minnesota Vikings. To come into New Orleans and get a victory, to get back on track, and could possibly contend for this NFC South title. But based on how things are going now in the NFC South, Tampa Bay has clearly fallen back to the pack. And things will get real interesting now that Baker Mayfield may miss some time. Carolina Panthers, team who the Saints did beat after, before they went on a bye, they won last week against the Falcons. But Falcons came in this game on a 5-game losing streak. And I got my hopes up. I felt as though maybe the Saints were going to turn a corner at coming off the bye. You got the win before you went on the bye, an impressive win, probably your best outing of the season. And then you come back off the bye week and look the way you had looked the first 5 to 8 weeks of the season. It doesn't make sense. It was just not a good performance today by the team. I thought the defense played well. The defense played well enough that the Saints could win this game. The Saints, same issues that have played this team over the weeks, reared its ugly head against the Falcons. You get up, your defense forces a 3-and-out. They punt the ball. Atlanta punts the ball. Saints get the ball. Alvin Kamara fumbles. Um, I think Atlanta Saints forced another 3-and-out. Atlanta got a field goal out of that turnover. Um, the Saints know how to move the football. The offense know how to move the football within the 20s. It's in the 20s. Methodically, they know how to carve the defense up. But when they get into that red zone, they just they just lose all focus. It just all kind of today was just all kind of madness in the red zone. Bad snaps, quarterback getting sacked, um, just all kind of chaos out there. Taysom Hill got the ball repeatedly in this game. Taysom Hill just don't look right, man. Since coming off that injury, he just don't. He just don't provide that same type of firepower that he once did. And then Blake Grupe once again cost his team points. And I've been saying this for since the season started. Since I've seen this, I started watching the team and how they operate the first 3, 4 weeks of the season. They cannot afford to leave points on the board. The way this offense has been playing, they cannot afford to leave points on the board. They need every point that they can get. Blake Grupe missed, I thought, was manageable field goals that he could make. He should be making. He missed both of them. That put this team behind the 8 ball. And then from that point forward, they decided to go for it. And even that got shut down. Only touchdown came from an interception from Justin Reed. That's the only touchdown for the Saints. Everything else was a field goal, or one field goal, and one field goal by Blake Grupe after he kept missing of the first two, the previous two. So just a bad performance by the Saints offense, man. Kellen Moore did not do a good job of calling the game today on the offensive side. I think they defense had it. The issue was with the defense today. But when you miss points like that, you can't get touchdowns in the red zone. This is the result you're gonna have. This is the result you're gonna have for the Saints. You know, and the Saints today, they sacked Kirk Cousins 3 times. Sacked him 3 times. He threw for 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. On the ground, they allowed over 121 yards rushing. B.J. Robinson had 70 yards. He had his longest was a 32-yard run. Tyler Algier had 12 carries, 44 yards. Longest was a 13-yarder. Through the air, he surrendered over 199 yards. Darnell Mooney had the big touchdown pass from Cousins. Big touchdown pass from Cousins. Longest was a 49-yarder. He had 3 catches, 74 yards. B. John had 2 catches, 37 yards. Kyle Pitts, 2 catches, 25 yards. Charlie Warner, dude that was hooking the Saints in the dinking and dunking, 3 catches, 24 yards. The Saints, look at the Saints on the Saints side, it was Tyler Shuck. He was 30 for 43, 243 yards, 1 touchdown. Was sacked 5 times. No touchdowns, but 1 interception. Sacked 5 times today. They went after him today. They went after him today. And that's what good to great defensive coordinators do. Or just coordinators that got common sense. Gonna do with a rookie quarterback. They can look at the previous tape and spot where he's bad at. And the Atlanta DC, he figured it out easily. You know, running the ball today, the Saints were awful. Awful today running the football. Alvin Kamara got injured. He left the game. I think he got a sprained MCL. So he possibly missed some time. But they could not run the football today at all. Tyler Shuck was the lead rusher. Tyler Shuck was the Saints' leading rusher. 7 carries, 22 yards. Devin Neal had 7 carries, 18 yards. Taysom Hill got 10 carries, 17 yards. They were just not a good running team today. You know, and now it goes to show you how bad this team is. Chris Olave, he got his targets, 9 catches, 70 yards on 13 targets. Jawan Johnson, 6 catches, 46 yards. He had 7 targets. Devin Neal had 5 catches, 43 yards. Filet had 3 catches, 37 yards. Tippin had 3 catches, 22 yards. It just wasn't good, man. I thought when you look at these numbers, you would think it on paper. This look good. This looks good for the wide receivers. Nice distribution of the football. Multiple guys got involved, but when it went to when the issues would kill the Saints today was the red zone. Red zone. That killed them last year, and the year prior to that. This team is allergic to scoring in the red zone. It just is. And I'm gonna give Kellen Moore a mulligan for this year. I'm gonna give him a mulligan for this year. First time on the job, first year as a young head coach. First time, being a head coach. Been a coordinator his entire career, play caller. Next year, this team better not look like this. I've been hearing a lot of people say that maybe it's because the roster is so bad. If you give him better players, that this will change. We don't know. We don't know that yet. We'll see. We'll see. Giving better players, this is going to look different. We'll see. You know, And some people just don't want to admit that maybe this guy is not a head coach. He's not a head coach material. Maybe he's another version of Dennis Allen. And Dennis Allen might be better than him. Because contrary to popular belief, if the injuries didn't pile up on Dennis Allen last year and the year prior to that, he still have a job with this team. That's just reality. But Kellen Moore it clearly shows that he's not ready. Well, I won't say not ready, but it clearly shows that he is a brand new, fresh NFL head coach. First time doing this. A lot of questionable play calling in this game. A lot of it. Um, Hopefully, man, look, Blake Gruper is let go. It's time. He has caused his team too many opportunities to get points. Too many opportunities to get points in this matchup. You know, but there are the other dirty hands involved. Kellen Moore is one of them. Play calling is bad. Can't execute in the red zone. Can't run the football. It's just this is what bad teams do. This is where certain rebuilding teams do. How often we're gonna chalk this up to rebuilding and pin most of this stuff on lack of execution. You know, because a lot of this stuff is not being committed by a lot of these transgressions are not being committed by rookies or young players. A lot of this is being committed by veterans on this team. Like today with Alvin Kamara fumbling, Blake Grupe missing field goals. You know, so I thought the defense played well enough for the Saints to win. It's just that offense had a lack of execution today. Could not get it done in the red zone. So there's that. Saints now are 2-9 on the season. On the bright side of this, if you're into the draft and all that, this improves their draft stock. 2-9 on the season. It does. Falcons, they're 4-7 now. And they have a chance, believe it or not, of winning the NFC South. Because right now Tampa Bay is in the free fall. You know? But that's just how it is sometimes. And um we'll see how it all play out, man. But the Saints play the Miami Dolphins next. That could be an ugly game for the Saints. Because Miami is a very tricky team. 1 week, they'll look like they're unbeatable. They look like a team that's, competing for the AFC East title. The next week, they look like they've regressed. So that could go either way, but I won't be surprised if the Saints get run off the field because if you're looking at both rosters right now between Miami and New Orleans, Miami have a far better roster than the Saints right now. Far better. But we'll see how it all play out, man. But that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. What are your takeaways from today's contest between the Saints and Atlanta Falcons? Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.